And speaking of dangerous stunts, we have our next bit of news here that comes from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Hiromu Tanahashi, who is currently the junior heavyweight champion. You saw the spot that happened at G1 Climax in San Francisco. He was doing some kind of, he was getting a suplex and landed wrong, landed on his head, and now they're saying it is a broken neck, and he will be out for at least 9 months.
Yep.
You know, we've talked about this before the podcast and on the phone and stuff. Is New Japan Pro Wrestling too rough?
I don't know if it's too rough. I think there's some ill-advised spots, and that would be one of them. There's no need for that type of stuff. Those guys are so talented that they don't need to rely on those types of moves to get themselves over or get the crowd to buy into what they're doing. Move like that where he's slamming the guy on his neck, there's no need for that. When I see Kenny Omega do a reverse Hurricane Rana and see the guy land on his neck, especially the spot that him and Okada did where he did it off the top rope, they don't need to do that type of stuff. They can get 5, 6, 7-star matches without going to the well and doing that type of stuff where you're risking the guy's life. I don't see the need for it. I don't think it was needed. I think it could have been avoided, but it is what it is, and it's unfortunate because they lost a really good superstar.
And not only that, they lost a champion. He is the junior heavyweight champion. So now what do you do? Because obviously it's not like a month or two where he doesn't have to wrestle. He can rest up and then just defend it when he's ready. 9 months, you can't have that belt disappear.
No.
And when you have guys like Will Ospreay and Marty Scurll and... You know, if the Young Bucks ever split up and go solo, I doubt that's ever going to happen. But still, they could be junior heavyweights in that division.
Right.
And New Japan has a much better junior heavyweight division than the WWE has in their cruiserweight division. We could do that as a separate conversation maybe down the line. But, you know, I kind of agree with you there. There are some times where I watch and I'm like, why? You know, I have Access TV, and on Access TV, they do the reruns of New Japan shows, or the re-airs, and then they have Jim Ross and Josh Barnett do the commentary.
Well, and maybe not Jim Ross anymore, but...
Maybe. Who knows? Yeah, I mean, he's with his health situations, but still. What I noticed, and the match that I watched most recently was from the G1 tournament last year. It was the final of Tetsuya Naito versus Kenny Omega. Yep. And there were 4 spots in there that I can easily count where I thought someone's neck was going to get broken and was surprised that they came out of that healthy.
Yeah, and if you compare that to the spot with Strowman and Kevin Owens, when I saw him get thrown off the cage, I cringed, but it wasn't where I feared that he was legitimately going to get hurt because the way he was landing, it looked like it was done properly. When I watch New Japan... Great matches, but at the end of the day, they do some spots that are really scary, and you're really putting the other guy at risk.
The other thing to point out, though, with the Kevin Owens spot was you can easily tell there was some kind of padding.
It's just WWE,
landed, whereas New Japan
looked good, but I didn't fear that he was actually going to be legitimately hurt unless there was some type of malfunction where he landed wrong. He didn't land quite the way he should have. But you're right. Every time I watch New Japan, I feel like there's at least 3 or 4 spots where I want to turn my head and look away because they put it all on the line, and they don't necessarily have to because they're all very talented guys.